Let's tell you that the chapter in Niger's insecurity story started on November 21 when gunmen stormed St. Mary's private Catholic secondary school in the early hours and abducted over 300 children, teachers and other staff members. Sources said the gunmen, who arrived in large numbers riding on over 60 motorcycles and accompanied by a van, shot and killed the school's gatekeeper. The state government, while condemning the attack, said it had earlier issued a clear directive suspending all construction activities and ordering the temporary closure of all boarding schools within the affected zone as a precautionary measure, a claim the school authorities denied. Days later, the Christian Association of Nigeria disclosed that 50 of the children escaped from captivity. The federal government responded by imposing a 24-hour security cordon and launching aerial surveillance across parts of Kwara, Kebbi, and Niger State. Authorities also ordered the indefinite closure of all schools in Niger State and many federal institutions in high-risk regions. The Niger attack came less than a week after bandits had kidnapped over 20 girls from the government school's comprehensive senior secondary school in Maga, Kebbi State. The first sigh of relief came on December 7 when the federal government said it secured the release of 100 of the children. To gauge the mood of the people of Niger State, Ibrahim Ndamitso joins us from Amina, the Niger State capital. Ibrahim is a journalist and has closely monitored the abduction incident. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
So let's have an understanding of how residents of Niger State are reacting to the release of the remaining abducted pupils and what emotions are most prevalent across affected communities.
Absolutely. It's a very beautiful feeling right now in Niger State. This abduction has actually had a very severe trauma on the lives of ordinary Nigerites, particularly parents whose children were taken. And a couple of days back, when 100 were released, I had an interview with a few parents. Among them is Mr. Marcos, who came thinking that his daughter was among those who were released, but then unfortunately he had to wait, and he was hoping that he was going to celebrate Christmas with her, and here we are.
Now, as the safe return of the pupils restored public confidence in security agencies?
That is a bit, not very clear, because schools, the school that was attacked had fence. It has every thing that is required for a safe school, to qualify for a safe school. But that is not the case in most public schools. Most public schools are allowed to die without fence, without proper protection for the kids, and so it doesn't reduce the risk of kids being attacked in schools, but then the government is designing a policy to take out schools in hard-to-reach communities where they are prone to attacks, perhaps bringing them back to urban areas, especially those who will require that kids stay in school for the whole time, like boarding schools.
Okay, so I'd like to also find out, school administrators, school teachers and pupils, how are they also assessing the situation of kidnappings, safe returns? What does the future even look like for them?
Yeah, a few days ago, the government of Niger State, organized a stakeholder kind of a meeting to design a strategy to ensure that schools are safe, to ensure that kids are protected throughout their stay in school. But it all has to do with the funding of schools' safety measures. Having school without fence is a huge challenge, and it is almost rampant in most public schools in Niger State. So to be protected, fencing and adequate securities be put in place, particularly for schools that are prone to these attacks, especially those in Niger North, which is a predominantly bandit-ridden part of Niger State for now. But then it doesn't return the confidence that parents have, having to even have the idea that your child is with bandits for a day is going to reduce a lot of public confidence in a lot of parents.
Thank you so much, Ibrahim and Ndamitso, for sharing your thoughts with us.